The scrapyard hung like a broken crown in the blackness of space. Twisted metal, shattered hulls, and half-burnt ships floated in slow, silent orbit around a dim star. It was a graveyard of ambition, a place where the galaxy dumped its failures. Here, no fleet dared linger too long. Every vessel had a story of ruin, betrayal, or abandonment. And among them, hidden in the shadows of massive wrecks, lay a ship that had been rejected by all. Liam Carter's shuttle glided between the floating wrecks. He had been traveling for months, following rumors of abandoned starships that still had life in their cores. Humans were not highly regarded among the galaxy's elite engineers. Other species considered human methods primitive and chaotic. But Liam thrived on chaos. Where others saw rubble, he saw potential. The ship he sought was enormous, bigger than any he had seen outside the stories of the old wars. Its hull was scarred by fire and laser burns, and jagged pieces of metal jutted out like broken bones. Alien symbols were carved into its sides, some fading into rust, others glowing faintly as if the ship remembered its past. Its name was barely visible: Eclipse. Most species would have passed by, muttering that it was cursed. Some even whispered that it had been the flagship of a fleet that vanished during a galaxy-wide conflict. Its history was shrouded in mystery, and for decades every attempt to salvage it had failed. But to Liam, the ship was perfect. He landed his shuttle on a flat section of the Eclipse's exterior. Dust and metallic debris floated in microgravity around him. The airlock creaked, groaning like an old animal disturbed from sleep. Liam's gloves tightened around his tools, his heart beating faster. This was what he lived for, the thrill of the impossible. Inside, the Eclipse was worse than he imagined. Broken corridors, exposed wires, and dead machinery lined the halls. The smell of burnt circuits mixed with the scent of ancient metal. The silence was deep, almost alive, broken only by the soft hiss of Liam's boots against the floor. He reached the control room, where the ship's main console had once commanded fleets. The panels were blackened and alien symbols flickered weakly under the grime. Liam crouched and ran his fingers over the controls. "Let's see if you're more than a ghost," he muttered to himself. Hours passed as he traced circuits and checked power conduits. Nothing responded. Yet he refused to give up. Human mechanics, he believed, were not bound by rules or expectations. While alien engineers relied on strict patterns and protocols, humans thrived on improvisation. Liam was about to prove it. He climbed into the maintenance hatch leading to the ship's central core. The engine room was vast, stretching hundreds of meters, a cavern of broken machinery and tangled cables. The heart of the Eclipse, its fusion reactor, was dormant, covered in a layer of dust and corrosion. Liam's fingers danced over the controls, rewiring circuits, patching damaged connections, improvising solutions where schematics were missing. When he finally activated the main power, the ship trembled slightly. Lights flickered across the deck like waking eyes. It was subtle at first, then stronger, a pulse of energy running through the ancient metal. The reactor hummed, not at full power, but alive. Liam smiled, his eyes reflecting the blue glow. "You've still got it," he whispered. "Let's see what else you can do." He moved to the navigation deck where massive view screens displayed nothing but static. With careful adjustments and human intuition, he brought the system online. A star map appeared, showing nearby galaxies, nebulae, and long-forgotten trade routes. Liam's excitement grew. The ship was more than salvageable. It had intelligence, memory, and perhaps even purpose. But the Eclipse had surprises. Alien defense systems, long inactive, reacted to Liam's presence. Turrets that had been silent, for centuries hummed with latent power, scanning for threats. Liam had to move cautiously, studying schematics etched into walls and symbols he did not fully understand. One wrong move could trigger an explosion, or worse, trap him inside forever. He spent the night exploring and understanding the ship's systems. He found fragments of its history stored in encrypted logs. The Eclipse had once been part of the Nova fleet, the pride of a coalition that no longer existed. Its missions had taken it to the farthest reaches of the galaxy, defending colonies, repelling invaders and participating in battles that shaped entire star systems. Yet despite its past glory, the ship had been abandoned. No one returned to claim it. No one cared that it still had life. Liam felt a strange connection, as if the ship had been waiting for someone with vision, a mind unafraid of its mysteries. He worked through the night, fixing circuits, calibrating sensors, and reconnecting power lines. Every repaired system sparked small victories. A light flickered on here. A control panel hummed there. Slowly, the eclipse began to awaken. As dawn approached in the far reaches of the star system, Liam made his most daring move yet. He accessed the ship's AI core, a network of consciousness that had been dormant for decades. He did not fully understand it, but human intuition guided him. With careful commands and calculated risks, he initiated the core. The ship reacted. The lights across the bridge pulsed rhythmically. Holographic displays shimmered into life, projecting the past missions, star charts, and blueprints of unknown technology. Then a voice, soft and metallic, echoed in the chamber. Identification: unknown. Purpose undefined. Core reactivation authorized. Liam froze, his heart pounding. This was more than he expected. The AI had recognized him, but it also seemed wary, testing its new operator. "I'm Liam Carter," he said cautiously. "I think I can help you." The AI paused, processing. Then, slowly, it responded. "Human. Accepted. Core status. Stabilizing. Ship status. Damaged, but salvageable." Relief and exhilaration flooded Liam. He had done it. He had brought life back to a ship the galaxy had discarded. But he knew this was only the beginning. The eclipse still required extensive repairs, upgrades, and understanding. It was a sleeping giant, and awakening it fully would be the challenge of a lifetime. As he settled into the captain's chair, Liam looked out at the scrapyard. Other ships, abandoned and broken, floated silently, witnesses to his triumph. He felt a strange sense of pride. Humanity had been underestimated, dismissed by the galaxy. Yet here he was, breathing life into what no one else could. Hours passed, and he began mapping out his plan. Systems to repair, engines to test, weapons to upgrade. The eclipse had potential far beyond anything he had imagined. If he could master it, it might become the most powerful ship in the galaxy, not just in strength, but in strategy, ingenuity, and adaptability. But not everything was simple. Alien factions patrolled nearby systems, curious about rumors of the ship's awakening. Pirates, scavengers, and mercenaries also lurked, hoping to claim the eclipse for themselves. Liam knew the galaxy would not remain indifferent for long. Still, he smiled. Danger was part of the thrill. Every challenge, every obstacle was an opportunity for a human mind to prove itself, and Liam had no intention of letting the galaxy dictate the limits of what was possible. As the ship's systems hummed steadily, the eclipse stirred, its blue lights pulsing like a heartbeat. It was alive again thanks to human ingenuity. And somewhere deep inside its core, the ship seemed to understand that it had found someone capable of unlocking its true potential. The scrapyard faded behind them as Liam prepared the ship for its first tests beyond orbit. He did not yet know what awaited him among the stars, but one thing was certain. The galaxy had underestimated humans once again, and Liam Carter was ready to show them just how wrong they had been. For the first time in decades, the eclipse moved, under its own power, slow but deliberate, ready to leave the shadows of rejection behind. And in the heart of the ship, Liam felt a thrill he had never experienced before. The sense that the impossible was only the beginning. Liam Carter spent the first few days inside the eclipse exploring every corner of the ship. Its corridors were labyrinthine, lined with panels covered in symbols from a dozen alien cultures. Broken lights flickered in the dim halls and wires dangled like vines from the ceiling. To any other mechanic, the ship might have seemed beyond repair, a hopeless relic. But Liam saw opportunity everywhere he looked. He began with the engines. The main thrusters were heavily damaged, scorched from past battles and left untreated for decades. Alien engineers had designed them for efficiency and precision, but their systems were rigid. A single miscalculation would disable the engines forever. Liam, however, relied on improvisation. Using spare parts scavenged from the scrapyard, he rewired circuits in ways the original designers never intended. He combined human engineering techniques with the alien technology embedded in the ship. The first attempt failed spectacularly. The engines roared to life for a few seconds and then coughed, spraying smoke and sparks. Liam ducked behind a bulkhead, wiping soot from his face. Okay, that was a little too much. But not impossible, he muttered. He studied the failure carefully. Unlike humans, most alien engineers avoided trial and error, trusting calculations over intuition. Liam relied on both. He made small adjustments, recalibrating fuel injectors and rewiring energy conduits. After hours of painstaking work, the engines responded. A low hum filled the engine room, steady and powerful. The ship's vibrations shifted slightly as if it were waking from a long sleep. Encouraged, Liam turned his attention to the weapon systems. Alien designs were often elegant but highly specialized. Missile launchers, laser arrays, and plasma cannons were scattered across the ship, most of them damaged or disconnected. Liam inspected each system carefully. Where alien engineers would have insisted on exact replacements, Liam improvised, adapting human designs to fit the alien structures. He fashioned a small targeting system from spare sensors and reinforced the weapon interfaces with human alloy plating. By combining alien precision with human adaptability, Liam created a hybrid system that worked in ways no alien engineer had anticipated. When he fired a test shot in the empty orbit, the beam sliced through a derelict hull with perfect accuracy. A small smile appeared on his face. "That's more like it," he said, feeling a surge of pride. But the real challenge was the ship's AI. Ancient and highly complex. The Eclipse's intelligence was dormant, cautious, and partially damaged. It had been designed to operate with a full fleet, not a single operator. Liam approached it carefully. He analyzed its encrypted logs, learning its routines, understanding its fears, and slowly coaxing it back online. At first, the AI was reluctant. "Unknown human. Purpose, authority?" it asked in its metallic voice, cautious and distant. "I'm Liam Carter," he replied gently. "I want to help you. Together we can make you strong again." The AI paused, processing. Its lights flickered as if thinking. Human, intent unclear, core stabilization required. Liam nodded, understanding that trust would not be given easily. Over the next several days, he worked to synchronize the ship's systems with his commands. Slowly, the AI began responding to his instructions, learning from his improvisation and recognizing the flexibility of human problem-solving. By the end of the first week, the Eclipse could move under its own power. Its thrusters purred steadily, its weapons arrays responded to commands, and its shields glimmered with faint energy. Liam felt a growing bond with the ship. Unlike alien engineers, humans often form emotional connections with machines, treating them as partners rather than tools. He found himself talking to the ship, explaining his plans, and the AI seemed to respond in kind. "Do you think you're ready for more?" Liam asked one evening, staring at the glowing panels of the control room. "Assessment. Operational but limited," the AI replied. "Human input required. Then we'll grow together," Liam said. Next, he focused on mobility. The Eclipse had once been built for fleet battles, moving in precise formations. It was powerful but slow to react to unexpected threats. Liam wanted something different. Using alien engine components and human design concepts, he added thruster arrays in unusual positions. These modifications allowed the ship to maneuver in ways alien engineers had never intended, zigzagging, spinning, even rotating while moving forward. It was risky, but Liam knew unpredictability was a human advantage. The first test of the new maneuvering system nearly ended in disaster. The ship spun too quickly, throwing Liam against the control panels. Sparks flew and alarms blared, but the system survived. After careful adjustments, the thrusters responded perfectly, giving the Eclipse unmatched agility. Liam laughed. No alien pilot would see this coming. While upgrading systems, Liam explored more of the ship's history. Hidden in encrypted logs, he found records of battles the Eclipse had fought in. Entire fleets had been destroyed, colonies defended, and enemies repelled by the ship. It had once been a symbol of hope and power, but fear and caution had left it abandoned. Reading the logs, Liam felt a sense of responsibility. The ship's potential was enormous, and he knew that with human ingenuity it could become stronger than anyone imagined. Yet not all discoveries were pleasant. Liam found evidence of dormant security protocols, turrets that could fire without warning, energy fields that could trap intruders, and systems designed to eliminate anyone deemed a threat. It was a reminder that the Eclipse had once been a weapon, feared and deadly. Liam decided to keep these systems inactive for now. He wanted the ship to grow with him, not to harm innocents. Every evening he returned to the bridge, talking to the AI as he watched the stars. Slowly, the ship began to respond emotionally, if a machine could be said to feel. Lights pulsed faster when Liam completed a complex repair. Sensors scanned more eagerly when he entered a new system, and holographic displays highlighted areas needing attention, almost as if the ship were anticipating his next move. By the end of the second week, the Eclipse was far more than a repaired ship. It had become a hybrid of alien design and human creativity. Its engines could accelerate faster than any other ship in the region. Its weapons were precise and adaptive. Its shields could reconfigure based on threats. And its AI was learning, not just responding, able to anticipate Liam's strategies. But Liam knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy had many dangers, and rumors of a reborn ship could attract unwanted attention. Pirates, rival factions, and alien warlords might come to claim the Eclipse or destroy it out of fear. Liam's mind raced with possibilities. He would need more than repair skills. He would need strategy, courage, and the ingenuity that only a human could provide. He also began preparing living quarters. The ship had accommodations, but they were cold and alien, designed for species that lived in highly controlled environments. Liam modified them for comfort and efficiency, installing small gardens, water recyclers, and personal spaces that reminded him of Earth. The AI assisted, learning from his preferences and even suggesting improvements. The ship was no longer just a weapon or a machine, it was becoming a home, a partner and a tool for exploration and defense. One night, as Liam lay in his bunk, he looked out the viewport at the scrapyard below. The other abandoned ships floated silently, witnesses to his progress. For the first time, he realized that he was not just restoring a machine, he was reshaping the galaxy's understanding of humans. Other species might dismiss humans as fragile or reckless, but here was proof that human creativity, adaptability, and determination could achieve the impossible. A soft hum echoed through the ship, the AI acknowledging his thoughts, perhaps even sharing them. Core stability at 92%, it reported. Systems functioning beyond historical benchmarks. Liam smiled. Not bad for a human and a broken ship, huh? The AI's lights pulsed softly, almost like a laugh. Assessment impressive. Human creativity acknowledged. That moment, Liam knew the journey had truly begun. The Eclipse was no longer just a relic. It was a living testament to what a human could achieve. And as the stars stretched endlessly before him, he felt a thrill unlike any other. The feeling of creating something powerful, beautiful, and unique in a galaxy that had long underestimated humanity. Liam leaned back in the captain's chair, eyes fixed on distant galaxies. The ship hummed beneath him, alive and growing stronger with each passing moment. Challenges awaited, certainly, and the galaxy was full of dangers. But with human ingenuity and the Eclipse's hidden potential, he knew they could face anything together. For the first time, Liam Carter realized that a ship abandoned by all could become a symbol of human brilliance. And as he prepared for the next stage, testing the ship in real missions beyond the safety of the scrapyard, he smiled. The galaxy had no idea what was coming, and the Eclipse, once rejected and forgotten, would soon make its presence known. The Eclipse floated silently above the scrapyard, its engines humming steadily, the glow of repaired thrusters painting streaks across the void. Liam Carter sat in the captain's chair, eyes scanning the displays. Every system now worked in harmony, but he knew the real test had only just begun. The scrapyard had been safe, predictable, and empty. Beyond this orbit, space was wild, full of dangers and surprises. He had plotted a course toward a nearby asteroid belt known for rogue scavengers and pirate activity. It was a perfect first test. If the ship could navigate danger and survive attacks, Liam would know that his work had truly paid off. "Engage thrusters," he commanded, and the Eclipse responded instantly, sliding out of orbit with a grace that belied its massive size. The ship's adaptive thrusters twisted and turned, allowing it to weave between floating debris with unmatched precision. Liam's grin widened. "You're more agile than I imagined," he said. As the ship entered the asteroid belt, the sensors beeped. Small vessels were moving between the rocks, scavengers hoping to claim untouched materials. Most ships would panic at the sudden danger, but the Eclipse was different. Liam ran the newly modified maneuvering systems, dodging asteroids with careful yet unpredictable movements. The thrusters pushed the ship into tight spins and slides that no alien pilot had ever tried. "Targeting systems online," the AI announced. "Scanners detect hostile presence, 3 vessels closing." Liam studied the incoming ships. They were smaller but heavily armed. In any normal battle, the Eclipse could easily destroy them, but Liam didn't want to start with unnecessary destruction. Instead, he used the ship's agility to outmaneuver them, staying just out of range while sending warning signals. "Try to escape," he muttered to the AI. "Let's see if we can avoid a fight." The ship responded perfectly. Its adaptive shields shimmered as energy fields redirected asteroid fragments and energy blasts harmlessly away. Sensors predicted enemy movements and thrusters executed complex maneuvers, making the Eclipse almost untouchable. After several tense minutes, the pirate vessels gave up, frustrated and confused, disappearing into the asteroid belt. "That's more like it," Liam said, wiping sweat from his brow. "Humans can do this better than anyone thought." The Eclipse's AI seemed almost proud, its lights pulsing rhythmically. Human ingenuity confirmed as effective. Survival probability, 92%. Satisfied with the first trial, Liam charted a course deeper into unclaimed space. He wanted to test more than just navigation and evasion. He wanted to see the ship's full potential. Over the next few days, he pushed it through asteroid fields, nebulae, and meteor storms. Each environment was a challenge. The engines had to compensate for fluctuating gravitational pulls. The shields had to adapt to energy fluctuations, and the sensors had to distinguish threats from harmless debris. Every test taught Liam more about the ship, and every day the Eclipse responded better. Human creativity proved to be a unique advantage. While alien engineers relied on rigid protocols, Liam improvised solutions on the spot. When a thruster overheated, he rerouted power through auxiliary engines. When sensors failed in dense nebulae, he adjusted their alignment manually. The ship responded instantly, almost learning from his methods. One evening, as the Eclipse drifted near a colorful gas giant, the sensors picked up a distress signal. A small transport vessel was under attack by raiders. Liam hesitated for only a moment. This was an opportunity to test the ship's capabilities in real combat, but without unnecessary destruction. "Prepare to assist," he commanded. The ship's weapons hummed in response, but Liam set them to non-lethal mode. Lasers could disable engines, plasma beams could cut through weapon systems, but he wanted to capture attention, not destroy lives. The raiders were surprised. The Eclipse moved unpredictably, weaving through debris while disabling the enemy vessel's engines. One by one, the attackers were immobilized, forced to surrender. The transport vessel escaped unharmed, and Liam hailed the captain, who was trembling with gratitude. "You saved us." What kind of ship is that?" the transport captain asked. Liam smiled, glancing at the glowing panels of the bridge. "Just a human trying to do the right thing." As news of the Eclipse's first successful mission spread, whispers began to ripple across nearby systems. The story of a ship, long thought abandoned, surviving impossible situations and acting with precision, reached ears that had not expected humans to be capable of such feats. Alien engineers, warlords, and fleet commanders grew curious. A ship that combined alien technology with human ingenuity was something they had never seen. Over the following weeks, Liam pushed the Eclipse further. He tested its weapons, shields, engines, and even the AI's strategic capabilities. The AI was learning quickly, adapting to new situations and predicting outcomes with remarkable accuracy, but Liam still had full control. It was a delicate balance, the human mind guiding, the AI executing, both learning from each other. Not all tests went smoothly. In one exercise near a dense asteroid cluster, a sudden gravitational wave threw the ship off course. Systems overloaded, alarms blared, and Liam had only seconds to react. Using both human intuition and the AI's calculations, he manually redirected the engines, avoiding collision by a hair's breadth. The experience reminded him that even the most advanced technology required human judgment. The Eclipse was more than a ship. It was a partnership. Liam's hands flew across the controls as he navigated through challenges, his mind constantly analyzing, predicting, and improvising. The AI responded, offering suggestions, but ultimately it deferred to Liam's decisions. It was learning the most important human skill: adaptability. During one quiet moment, Liam explored the ship's engineering decks. Alien blueprints and human modifications lined the walls. He added his own improvements: energy recycling systems, adaptive armor plating, and modular weapon interfaces. The ship was transforming, becoming stronger with each adjustment. Liam worked late into the galactic night, talking to the AI as he made repairs. "You know," he said, tightening a thruster coupling, "most species would have given up on you. They would have crushed you for scrap." Assessment: human perspective noted. Previous operators inefficient, the AI replied. Human determination exceeds historical data. Liam chuckled. I suppose humans do have a way of making things work when everyone else fails. The Eclipse continued to prove itself. Small skirmishes, evasive maneuvers, and simulated battles all confirmed its growing strength. Yet the galaxy was vast, and Liam knew rumors of the ship would soon attract attention. Some friendly, some dangerous. He also realized that the ship's potential was far beyond what he had achieved so far. If he pushed it further, the Eclipse could become unmatched, a symbol of human ingenuity in a universe that often doubted them. One day, while navigating a dense nebula, the ship's sensors detected something unusual: a derelict alien vessel, larger than the Eclipse and heavily armed, drifting silently. It was a test, Liam realized. The Eclipse had been designed for fleet combat, but it had never faced a ship of this size alone. He approached cautiously, running simulations in his mind. The AI offered tactical suggestions, but Liam relied on instinct. With precise maneuvers, the Eclipse moved around the derelict, scanning for weak points. Its weapon systems calibrated, shields flexed to absorb potential impacts, and engines hummed in anticipation. Liam's human touch, the ability to improvise, predict, and adapt, gave the ship an edge no rigid calculation could match. After careful analysis, he disabled the derelict's navigation systems without firing a shot at its hull. Its energy readings collapsed, engines shut down, and the massive ship became powerless, drifting as if acknowledging the Eclipse's superiority. Liam felt a surge of pride. See? We're not just good, we're exceptional. The Eclipse's lights pulsed brighter, almost as if in agreement. It had learned another lesson from its human pilot. Victory did not always require destruction. Strategy, creativity, and timing could achieve far more than brute force alone. As Liam charted a course back toward safer space, he reflected on the trials of the past weeks. The Eclipse had survived pirate attacks, asteroid fields, nebula storms, and even a confrontation with a larger ship. It was stronger, faster, and smarter than he had ever imagined. Yet he knew this was only the beginning. Alien factions would notice the ship, and some would see it as a threat. Others might see opportunity, and all of them would underestimate the human driving it. For the first time, Liam realized the true potential of the Eclipse. It was not just a machine, it was a symbol of human ingenuity, adaptability, and courage. And as he looked out at the endless stars stretching before him, he felt a thrill unlike any other. The knowledge that the galaxy had no idea what was coming. The trials among the stars had only proven one thing: the Eclipse, under human guidance, could accomplish feats no one else could imagine, and Liam Carter, with his unshakable determination, was ready to push it further, into challenges that would test not only the ship's power but the very limits of human creativity. The galaxy would soon take notice. The galaxy was vast, but word traveled faster than Liam had expected. Whispers of a human pilot commanding a ship long thought lost reached ears that were eager for power, or fearful of it. Alien warlords, fleet commanders, and pirate lords began to watch systems near Liam's route. A ship that moved with unpredictable precision, survived impossible hazards, and outmaneuvered enemies without destruction, was no longer just a curiosity. It was a threat. Liam had sensed it coming. The Eclipse's sensors picked up unusual signals, a combination of fleet patrols and rogue vessels converging near the edge of an unclaimed star cluster. They were not attacking yet, but the pattern was clear: The galaxy wanted to test this reborn ship. He studied the fleet movements carefully. The ships were diverse, some sleek and fast, others massive and heavily armored. Their formation suggested coordination and strategy, but Liam knew something they could not anticipate: human unpredictability. While aliens relied on protocol, humans thrived in improvisation, and Liam intended to use every ounce of that advantage. "Prepare for engagement," he said to the Eclipse's AI. "We're about to meet our first real test." The AI responded with a series of diagnostic checks. "All systems operational. Shields at maximum. Weapons ready." Probability of success with standard protocols, 67%. Human input required for optimal outcome. Liam nodded. He didn't need probabilities, he needed instincts. As the fleet closed in, he maneuvered the Eclipse through a nearby asteroid belt. The dense rocks provided cover, forcing the enemy to slow down. The ship's adaptive thrusters responded instantly to Liam's commands, weaving the vessel with impossible precision. The alien fleet fired energy blasts, bouncing harmlessly off shields, missing by mere meters. "This is going to be fun," Liam muttered. He had no intention of destroying the entire fleet. His goal was survival, not unnecessary carnage. Still, he wanted to show the galaxy what a human pilot and a human-engineered ship could achieve. The Eclipse's weapon systems activated, targeting engines and thrusters on the enemy ships with non-lethal bursts. Each hit disrupted their formation, forcing them to react to a threat they could not predict. The fleet tried to flank him, but the Eclipse's agility was unmatched. Liam's human touch guided every movement, every counter, every calculated risk. Mid-battle, he discovered something astonishing. Hidden deep within the Eclipse's AI core was a dormant superweapon system. It was left inactive, perhaps deliberately by the original designers, meant for use only in extreme circumstances. The AI identified it, alerting Liam. Human, superweapon system detected. Status dormant. Operational parameters incomplete. Recommendation: activation only in extreme threat. Liam paused. The system could destroy entire fleets, but he hesitated. Using it recklessly would make the Eclipse a weapon of terror, not a symbol of ingenuity. Still, he knew the opportunity to learn from it could be invaluable. "Show me what it can do," he said cautiously. The AI responded with holographic simulations, showing energy bursts capable of disabling multiple ships simultaneously, redirecting energy flows, and even temporarily shutting down engines without destroying the vessel entirely. It was precise, controlled, and powerful, a tool designed for strategic dominance rather than mindless destruction. He activated a minor test in the current skirmish. Energy pulses shot from the Eclipse, targeting a cluster of enemy ships, disabling engines and weapons without causing casualties. The fleet faltered, giving him the opportunity to escape. Liam smiled. "See? Power with restraint works better than recklessness." The battle ended without full engagement, but the fleet had learned a lesson. The Eclipse was not just alive, it was intelligent, fast, and unpredictable. Rumors of the human pilot commanding the ship spread quickly, and soon every fleet in nearby sectors took notice. After the battle, Liam reflected on what had happened. The galaxy's reaction proved two things. Humans were underestimated, and the Eclipse had potential far beyond mere repairs. But with recognition came risk. Those who feared the ship's power might strike preemptively. He had to prepare, not just for defense, but for diplomacy, strategy, and influence. He spent the next few days upgrading the ship further. The adaptive shields were enhanced to respond to multiple attacks simultaneously. Weapon systems were calibrated for precision strikes without collateral damage, and the AI learned to anticipate not only threats but intentions, providing Liam with tactical suggestions in real time. Yet, despite the upgrades, Liam knew that survival depended on more than technology. Humans excelled in thinking outside rigid patterns. He trained himself in maneuvers that no alien pilot would consider. He improvised tactics, creating false retreat paths, sudden flanking moves, and unpredictable acceleration patterns. Each exercise made the Eclipse harder to predict, faster to react, and more dangerous in a controlled way. During one patrol, Liam received a coded message from a nearby colony. They were under attack by a rogue faction known for ruthless tactics. Liam knew this was another chance to test the Eclipse under real conditions. But this time, he needed a strategy that combined power, intelligence, and human creativity. He approached cautiously, using the ship's stealth systems and adaptive thrusters to avoid early detection. From hidden positions, he disabled enemy weapons and engines one by one. The rogue faction attempted to respond, but the Eclipse's mobility and precision left them unable to anticipate Liam's next move. Within hours, the colony's attackers were neutralized without any civilian casualties. The colonists were amazed. They had heard tales of alien fleets capable of total destruction, but here was a ship capable of defending them with unmatched skill, and a human at the helm. Liam smiled at their gratitude, but he knew the bigger picture. Every victory brought attention, and attention meant enemies would soon come. Weeks later, while surveying a distant star cluster, the Eclipse detected multiple fleets converging toward the same location. These were not small skirmishes or rogue pirates. They were organized, coordinated, and intent on testing the limits of the reborn ship. Alien commanders had gathered intelligence, understanding the Eclipse's abilities but hoping to overwhelm it with numbers. Liam studied the incoming fleets carefully. He realized that brute force would not be enough. The Eclipse was powerful, yes, but facing multiple organized fleets required strategy. He began planning, using simulations in conjunction with the AI's analytical capabilities. Every move had to be precise, every maneuver calculated, and every potential threat anticipated. And then, he remembered the dormant superweapon. It was still untested in real combat, but its potential to neutralize overwhelming forces could turn the tide. He ran simulations combining the ship's agility, adaptive shields, and hybrid weapon systems with the strategic energy pulses of the superweapon. The results were staggering. The Eclipse could handle multiple fleets at once, not through destruction alone, but through controlled precision, unpredictability, and human ingenuity. As the fleets approached, Liam prepared. Engines ready, shields at maximum, weapon systems calibrated, and the AI fully synchronized with his commands. The Eclipse was no longer just a ship. It was a fusion of human creativity and alien engineering, capable of feats that no one in the galaxy had ever imagined. When the first wave of enemy ships arrived, Liam executed his plan. The Eclipse moved unpredictably, striking weak points with non-lethal energy pulses, disabling engines and weapon systems without unnecessary destruction. Fleets attempted flanking maneuvers, but the ship's agility and AI anticipation rendered them ineffective. Every move, every counter, and every strategy reflected human creativity applied at its peak. Hours passed, and the fleets were forced to retreat, bewildered and defeated. News would soon spread. The ship, abandoned by all, repaired by a human, could now dominate multiple fleets without mass destruction. Liam understood the significance. The Eclipse had become more than a repaired relic. It was a symbol of human potential in a galaxy that had long underestimated them. That night, as he stared at distant stars from the bridge, Liam reflected on the events. The galaxy was taking notice. Some would fear, some would admire, and some would try to challenge him. But he knew one thing. With human ingenuity, creativity, and courage, the Eclipse could survive, grow, and inspire. Tomorrow, he said quietly to the AI, we face whatever comes next. And we'll show them what humans are really capable of. The AI's lights pulsed in agreement. Acknowledged. Human strategy effectiveness confirmed. Prepared for future engagement. Liam smiled. The rising threat was real, but so was the potential. The Eclipse, once abandoned and rejected, was now a force to be reckoned with, and under the guidance of a human mind, it would continue to grow, innovate, and redefine what the galaxy thought was possible. For the first time, Liam felt the weight of responsibility, not as a destroyer, but as a protector, strategist, and innovator. The galaxy had begun to notice, but it had not yet realized the true power of a human at the helm of a ship rejected by all, and the real trials were only just beginning. The Eclipse moved silently through the starry expanse, its hull glinting in the light of distant suns. Liam Carter sat in the captain's chair, eyes scanning the displays, his mind alive with strategy and anticipation. The galaxy had begun to take notice of the ship he had resurrected, and he knew the moment of ultimate challenge was approaching. Reports had arrived from multiple systems. Fleets that had once ignored the abandoned ship were now converging toward the Eclipse's location. Some sought to test it, others to destroy it out of fear. Warlords, mercenaries, and alien commanders alike had begun to whisper about the human pilot who had awakened a ship long thought lost. Liam smiled. The galaxy had underestimated humans again, but he was ready. Engage shields and prepare the engines, he instructed the AI. We'll need every advantage today. All systems operational, the AI replied. Probability of successful defense against combined fleets 81%. Human strategy can increase probability. The eclipse approached a vast nebula where the fleets were assembling. Their numbers were overwhelming. Dozens of ships of varying size and capability, all coordinated, all expecting victory. They believed a single ship, even one as powerful as the eclipse, could be contained or destroyed. Liam knew otherwise. Let's show them what a human can do, he said, a calm determination in his voice. The first wave attacked. Energy blasts tore through space, but the eclipse's adaptive shields absorbed and redirected them with ease. The ship's thrusters moved unpredictably, dodging incoming fire with a precision no alien commander could anticipate. The AI coordinated defensive maneuvers while Liam improvised attacks, using non-lethal energy pulses to disable weapons and engines. It was not just a display of power. It was a demonstration of strategy. Liam focused on disabling rather than destroying, guiding fleets into positions where they could do no harm. The result was confusion and awe. Alien commanders had never seen tactics like this. Power combined with restraint, intelligence combined with ingenuity. Then, a larger threat emerged. A massive command ship appeared at the center of the attacking fleets, bristling with weapons capable of annihilating smaller vessels. The AI alerted Liam. Command vessel detected. Weapons output exceeds 200 terajoules. Risk extreme. Liam did not panic. Prepare the superweapon, he instructed. The AI acknowledged, initiating the dormant system carefully. Energy built up within the eclipse, flowing through channels redesigned by Liam, integrating human-engineered modifications with alien power conduits. The superweapon fired, not to destroy, but to disable. A controlled burst of energy spread through the enemy formation, shutting down engines, weapons, and power grids. Ships floated powerless, unable to act. The command vessel tried to retaliate, but the eclipse's precision maneuvers kept it out of range. Liam guided the ship through the battlefield like a conductor leading an orchestra. Each movement was calculated, each pulse timed perfectly. The attacking fleets, once confident, now struggled to adapt. They could not predict the ship's moves nor the human mind guiding it. Hours passed in tense engagement. The eclipse continued to disable, avoid, and outmaneuver, demonstrating the full power of human ingenuity combined with alien technology. No lives were lost and no unnecessary destruction occurred, but the message was clear. The ship once abandoned by all was now unmatched. When the fleets finally retreated, alien commanders sent communications of acknowledgement and respect. Some expressed awe, others cautious admiration, but all understood one truth. The eclipse was no longer just a ship. It was a symbol, a representation of human capability and creativity. Liam allowed himself a moment of quiet satisfaction. He had done more than survive. He had reshaped the galaxy's understanding of humans. The eclipse had become a legend, not through brute force but through intelligence, strategy, and innovation. After the battle, Liam focused on further upgrades. He reinforced the shields, refined the superweapons controls, and improved the ship's engines for even greater agility. Each modification enhanced the ship's potential, without compromising its ability to act with precision and restraint. But it was not just about technology. Liam began thinking about alliances and diplomacy. Alien factions that had once ignored humans now sought communication. Some offered cooperation, others sought guidance on engineering methods. Liam realized that the eclipse could serve as more than a weapon. It could be a tool for uniting systems, protecting colonies, and inspiring innovation. One quiet evening, while observing a cluster of distant stars, Liam spoke to the AI. We've come far, but I want more than fear or admiration. I want to show that humans can create, protect, and lead without destroying everything in our path. The AI responded with a gentle hum, lights pulsing in agreement. Assessment. Human intention aligns with operational optimization. Potential influence across multiple systems. Maximum. Encouraged, Liam charted a course for uncharted regions. He wanted to explore, learn, and test the limits of the ship and human ingenuity. The Eclipse responded, its systems humming smoothly. Adaptive shields ready. Weapons prepared but restrained. Engines poised for rapid acceleration. It was more than a machine. It was a partner, a companion, and a symbol of human achievement. As the ship glided through uncharted space, Liam reflected on its journey. From an abandoned wreck in a distant scrapyard, the Eclipse had grown into the galaxy's mightiest weapon. Not through destruction alone, but through creativity, strategy, and human determination. Where others had seen rubble, he had seen potential. Where others had feared failure, he had embraced it. And now, the galaxy could no longer ignore the brilliance of humans. Soon Liam encountered a system threatened by a powerful warlord. Colonies were at risk, fleets outnumbered and outgunned. Liam knew this would be another test, a chance to demonstrate the Eclipse's full potential as both protector and symbol of hope. The battle was intense. Enemy ships fired relentlessly, but the Eclipse's agility and the AI's predictive algorithms allowed Liam to maneuver through impossible gaps, disable weapons, and protect vulnerable colonies. The superweapon system, used carefully, neutralized the warlord's command ship without harming civilians. The outcome was decisive. The colonies were safe, and the warlord's fleet was neutralized without excessive destruction. News spread quickly. Systems previously under threat hailed the Eclipse and its human pilot as a guardian. The legend of Liam Carter and the ship once abandoned by all grew. The galaxy began to see humans not as weak, reckless, or inferior, but as creative, resourceful, and capable of feats no other species could achieve. In the aftermath, Liam took a moment to look at the ship's interior. Panels glowed softly, engines hummed with steady power, and the AI pulsed with life. The Eclipse was no longer just a starship. It was a testament to human ingenuity, a living proof that determination, creativity, and strategy could overcome any obstacle. As he plotted a course toward distant, uncharted regions, Liam felt a deep sense of satisfaction. The galaxy had been watching, doubting, and underestimating, and now, the ship that no one wanted, piloted by a human mechanic, had become the galaxy's mightiest weapon, not because it destroyed indiscriminately, but because it represented what humans could achieve when given a chance. Ready for the next adventure? Liam asked the AI. Confirmed. Human strategy effectiveness, unmatched. Course plotted, uncharted space, the AI replied. Liam leaned back in his chair, watching the stars stretch into lines of light as the Eclipse accelerated. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges, wonders, and mysteries. But together, human and ship could face them all. In that moment, Liam realized something profound. The Eclipse was more than a weapon. It was a symbol of hope, intelligence, and the limitless potential of humanity. Where others had failed, humans had succeeded. Where others had abandoned, humans had persevered. And in the depths of space, the Eclipse carried the legacy of determination, creativity, and courage. The stars stretched endlessly before them, and Liam knew one thing with certainty. The galaxy had never seen anything like the ship and its human pilot, and it never would again. The Eclipse moved forward, its lights blazing, engines humming, and AI ready. Humanity had shown its brilliance. The galaxy could either watch and admire, or attempt to challenge it at its peril. For Liam Carter, the journey was only beginning. The ship, once rejected by all, had become a legend, and under his guidance it would continue to shape the stars, defend the innocent, and inspire generations to come. The galaxy's mightiest weapon was no longer just a starship. It was human ingenuity brought to life.